Memory 3117. How they found him was a mystery, but Trevor knew what they wanted. The road to Wallachia is long, and he is the only traveler. People in this part of the world know the roads are not safe at night. He was prepared to cast out his unwanted visitors, just as his ancestors were cast out by the people they had saved so long ago. But he knows this is the call he has been waiting for. After all these years, his time has finally come. He scans the desolate landscape and thinks about those who came before him. He thinks about his ancestor, Leon, the first of his lineage of vampire hunters. Did he travel this same road? Did he feel this same burden of duty, the weight of the world bearing down on his shoulders? Perhaps he is watching me now. The crumbling walls of Wallachia rise up in the distance. Trevor's blood chills in his veins. It has been too long since I last returned home. What kind of welcome awaits me here? Memory 3101. The city gates are closed for the night. The boys guarding the wall eager to use their crossbows on anyone or anything that dares approach. I'll wait until morning. Let them see my approach in the light of day. He sets up a fireless camp in the neighboring forest and listens to the screeching of bats as they fly between the treetops. The sound is surprisingly soothing, and his eyes flutter shut in mere minutes. A gust of wind disturbs the peace of sleep, and Trevor awakes to see someone atop him. One hand planted on the ground, another on his person, a sneering face close to his. A bandit? A murderer? Trevor rises in a flash, thrusting the menace to the ground. Even beneath the red moon, he can scarcely discern any features from the bandit. The bandit cowers on the ground at first, then lunges forward, blade glistening in the light of the moon. Trevor raises his dagger and rushes to meet his opponent. The bandit matches his every move, blades flashing in the night. This man is no ordinary bandit. He's agile, disciplined. The fight comes to a halt when Trevor feels cold steel at his throat. The bandit grunts, pinned against an oak tree. Trevor's dagger digging into the bandit's neck. An impasse. Trevor keeps the bandit at arm's length. Now you listen to me. You'll get no money from me, for I have none. But what I do have is an opportunity. You fight well, and I need fighters to help me take on the evil plaguing the land. I promise you will be rewarded for your efforts. The bandit snarls, lunges, knocks Trevor to the ground. The sounds of angry bats fills his ears. Trevor recovers himself, his eyes regaining focus. Where did he go? Why did he run? He refuses to sleep the rest of the night, waiting to watch sunlight break the horizon hours later. Memory 3043. It was barely a shove, but Trevor tightens his fist. Do not retaliate. The man is drunk. If you hurt him, you will just prove him right. The drunkard's voice is like the bray of a donkey, loud enough and harsh enough to get the attention of passers-by. I see it in your eyes. You wish to kill me, Belmont. Go ahead and try. We all know who it is you really serve. A pair of men try to pull the drunkard away, but he refuses to let up. Unhand me, will you? His power is unnatural. I'm on the city watch. If I don't drive out monsters like him, then who will? The drunkard breaks free of his friends and knocks Trevor against the tavern wall. Leave now, Belmont, before I drive my knife through you. Arguments rise all around. Some align themselves with the drunkard, gathering to curse Trevor. Others come to his defense. Remember what the Belmonts have done for us all. Don't be foolish. There's evil in his blood. You insult your ancestors with your hatred. Only one person in the crowd is brave enough to get close to Trevor, to lead him away from the fray and into the tavern. The villagers are too consumed by their passions to notice him walk away. Memory 3048. The pale stranger sets a pair of frothing mugs in front of Trevor and takes a seat next to him at the bar. Trevor stares at the drink placed in front of him, watching the bubbles pop on the amber surface. The stranger gives a knowing smile. "We can trade glasses, if you'd like." Trevor scoffs, takes the drink. In a town filled with people who curse the name of Belmont, this man was the only one to extend him any courtesy. The drink tastes as it should, no trace of poison as he runs the first sip over his tongue. The pale stranger ignores his own drink, leans in. "So you really think you can kill Dracula?" The question is so blunt, Trevor nearly chokes on his drink. "I am a Belmont. I don't think I can. I know I can." They talk for most of the night. The stranger speaks as if they've known each other their whole lives. Again and again, he returns to the same topic. The Dark Lord is the embodiment of pure evil. Many have tried to defeat him, and all of them have failed. I've relished the thought of taking arms against him myself, but I know how it would end. What makes you any different? Trevor studies this man sitting next to him. The people of Wallachia fear Dracula because they have so much to live for. But I'm different. The singular purpose of my life is right there. He points to the tavern window, to the dark spires looming over the city walls. Out there, at the top of that cursed place, is where my destiny lies. The stranger lets out a bitter chuckle. Trevor takes a full mug from the barkeeper. "If you don't think I can fight him alone, then you're more than welcome to join me. I'll never say no to a helping hand." But the stranger is gone. Outside the bar, another day begins. The beginning of the end. Memory 3092. The castle loomed large on the horizon. But as Trevor passed through the outer gates, the abomination was all-encompassing. A massive growth devouring the earth. A vast cemetery surrounds the castle like a great moat of death. Trevor reads the names on the tombstones as he walks by on unsteady feet. He has traveled on foot so far, and his body demands a rest. He sits before a stone monument and wraps himself in his cape. The sky churns. A storm is on its way. He knows what awaits him inside the castle. He knows he can triumph over evil. He knows he will suffer to do so. This is my destiny. I only hope my children, and their children after them, will never have to face such evil. The sky explodes in a flash of lightning. The sensation seems to awaken something deeper within the cemetery. Footsteps. Servants of Dracula prepared for battle. Perhaps he always knew I was coming. Perhaps he is waiting for me. No sense in making him wait any longer. Memory 3104. Sifa suggests they set up camp in the Great Hall. The castle has been quiet here, and if the legends are true, they will face their greatest threat soon. Trevor agrees, and he and Grant gather enough food for a filling meal. They talk by candlelight, sharing tales of their exploits, revisiting painful memories of defeat. Trevor asks what Sifa meant when she said they would face their greatest threat soon. We are far from Dracula's throne room. Sifa shakes her head, her eyes as cold as the grave. I was referring to his son, the one they call Alucard. Grant nods. I have heard of him as well. the fruit of an unholy union between human and vampire. Stronger than any man. I heard tell that he would roam the land in disguise. Not sure why. Maybe he wanted a taste of real humanity. The memory strikes Trevor at his core. It was mere days ago that he first arrived in Wallachia. Cold eyes met him there, whispered curses, threats veiled and made plain. Only one had treated him with dignity. He looks at Siffa and Grant on either side of him, quietly finishing their meals. This Alucard might be the threat Siffa says he is, but Trevor can't shake the feeling he will be something different altogether. Memory 3110. Trevor looks up at the vaulted ceiling. The flickering light from their torches struggles to climb the walls. He can barely see the bats circling so far overhead. But he can see their fluttering wings, hear their familiar screeching. Grant waves a dismissive hand and turns over in his bedroll. They're just bats, Belmont. But Trevor knows better. He blinks at the darkness above. The fluttering of wings suddenly ceases, the screeching silenced in an instant. Someone was up there, resting on the rafters, looking down at the three of them. I know this man. The bandit in the camp. The man at the bar. He's been following me this whole time. Why? Trevor's voice slams against the walls of the Great Hall. Show yourself, Alucard. Grant and Siffa shoot to their feet at the mention of that cursed name. Siffa readies a spell. Trevor holds up a hand to stop her. The man in the rafters stays frozen to the spot. Trevor is hit with a wave of understanding. You wish your father vanquished, don't you? Your cause is the same as ours. That is why you followed me here. It's why you keep your distance rather than attack. There is no need to hide. Join us. Even in the darkness, Trevor can't mistake the glisten in Alucard's eye, the curl of his lip. He leaps from the rafters, his falling body dissipating into a raging swarm of bats. The three vampire hunters shield themselves against the bats as they swoop down, barreling towards the door leading out of the Great Hall. Trevor checks Grant and Siffa. No one was injured in the attack. They listen as the screeching fades down the long corridor, punctuated by a powerful demand. Find me. Prove your strength.